this was the most I had so much support from my family and friends, but it was like the most isolated I've never felt so alone in a situation. And my husband was really supportive, and like my family was really supportive. Everyone was so supportive and took like the time to really like show that they cared about me, and I really love you guys. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so tired, but welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, did I just wipe off my so I literally went in hiding or was put in hiding for about a week, and just to say to you guys, there's a couple of things that have changed, and one of those changes is that there's no longer a baby inside me. There's no longer a baby inside me, but nobody panic, nobody stress. Baby is fine, I'm fine. And if you listen to a previous video, which one was it? Oh, this is hectic. So baby's fine, I'm fine. I just want to clear that out, number one. And basically what happened in the past week and a half, that's what I want to update you guys on. It's been a crazy week and a half, and I thought, you know what, let me just pop in and just give you guys a mini life update and story time about that, because it's been crazy. Very crazy. Cool. So let's start with when you last saw me. I was doing the Mommy's Angels, right? And I was about 30 weeks pregnant, and that same weekend there was an event at work that I also recorded for, but I'll just edit that video and post it up after this one, but I thought let me do this one first. So what has happened in the past week and a half? So we had the event at work on Friday the 1st of March. Amazing night. It was great. I was extremely happy on that day, for a lot of reasons. As a team, we worked really hard. You will see in the video we actually got a couple of awards, and we were recognized, of which I love, especially for everyone that got awarded that night. I'm so proud of everyone and everything like that. Everybody worked really hard to get what they deserved, I could say that. So next morning I wake up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I need to pee, I need to pee. I'm so pressed. Cool. I go to the bathroom, like literally a gush of water comes out, and I'm like, geez, how much water did I drink last night? Because obviously I'm pregnant. I'm not gonna drink alcohol or anything like cold drink and sugary. I had lots of water. That was basically my diet that night, and I think I had like 2 passion fruit and lemonades, but I didn't want to drink too much sweet stuff. So I was like, yo, that's a lot of water. Okay, cool. Anyway, go back to sleep, and I'm like in bed, and next thing you know, I'm leaking. I'm like, oh my word, am I peeing myself or something? And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then I go back to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, maybe let me go pee again. I wake up my husband. I'm like, no, something's wrong. I'm just leaking, and he's like, no, maybe you're just peeing yourself. I'm like, really, do you think I'm really peeing myself right now? And I'm like, dude, I don't think I'm peeing myself, but seriously, I'm leaking. And he's like, nah, there's nothing to really, I shouldn't stress. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll take your word for it. I'm just gonna get back into bed and just relax. I get back into bed, still more leaking happens. I'm like, okay, well, this is really now freaking out. Like, why am I leaking? And it's clear fluid. Like, if it was pee, I'd be like, it would smell like pee, it would look like pee, but it's not pee. And then I literally was walking towards the bathroom, and then more water came out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm grabbing towels. I'm standing on a towel because I'm like literally still leaking. My husband wakes up, lights are on now, we're all stressed. And it's like literally like 3 o'clock in the morning. What do I do? Okay, great. So I'm like, should we go to the hospital? Should we call my doctor? And at that time, I don't have my doctor's cell phone number. And I'm like, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. This is probably nothing big. You're gonna be fine. So I'm like, I think my water broke. Okay. I'm convinced my water just broke. And I'm like, how is this possible that my water breaks and I'm only like 30 weeks pregnant? I'm like, this is crazy. I've got like what, 10 more weeks to go, right? Because it's 30 weeks, you delivered 40 weeks. I'm like, I've still got so much more time. But I know that normally with my pregnancies, I haven't gone full term yet with any of my pregnancies. The furthest I've gone was like 37 weeks with Zianda. And I was like expecting to probably deliver around what, 36, 37, 38, around there. I'm like, maybe this time I'll go further and go to 38, you know. So my water breaks. Okay, I'm like, okay, now this is serious. But I'm not feeling any pain. I feel no pain. I feel no contractions, no discomfort whatsoever. It's just leakage. That's all I'm experiencing. Okay, cool, no problem. Then I'm like, let's just, because I'm not feeling any contractions, I'm definitely not in labor. It's just probably like a pre-labor situation, and I got time to kind of see my doctor and stuff like that and wait for him to be available. Okay, so my husband and I agree, let's just relax, calm down, put on a nappy or something and just be fine. So I put on my pad and I relax. Cool. So now it's time to go see my doctor. We could drive through to go see my doctor. He confirms definitely that my water broke and I've lost some fluid in my womb and everything, but at this point it's nothing that has put baby in like a lot of danger. So, but just to be careful, he suggested that we do a emergency C-section. Okay, so I'm definitely panicking because C-section is not something that I would have ever wanted to do, only because I'm scared of like the repercussions of a C-section. I've heard of a lot of people who recover very well from C-section, but I was like, I don't know if I would recover very well from C-section. I've never had one before, and that was the last option I wanted, and only in the case where baby really needs to do it. So just for the sake of like my story, I'm not gonna name the doctors. I'm just gonna say Dr. X or Dr. whatever, because this you'll hear just now. So my doctor, Dr. X, is like, we need to go to the hospital right now and get an emergency C-section right now. And I'm panicking. I'm like, this can't be real. We can't be having an emergency section right now. I'm literally 30 weeks pregnant. What do you mean? And he's like, no, it's actually 31. And we're just debating about that. And baby's a good weight at that point. He's about just over 2 kgs. And I'm like, okay, but I haven't gotten my steroids in. And what about his lungs? I'm really panicking about like his livelihood and how is he going to cope being in ICU at that point. And then I'm like, I just need to figure out what other options are there. Okay, my husband and I, we decide, okay, sharp, let's go to a different hospital. And then we do, and now I'm with Dr. Y. So Dr. Y's recommendation. So Dr. X writes us a recommendation letter, puts all my information, because I've been seeing him since I've been 6 weeks pregnant. So he had all the records of my pregnancy and everything. So he puts that up in a folder to hand over to the next person if need be. And I just asked for them. I said, listen, I think we need to just talk to a few more people and understand what other options we have here. Cool. So we do that, and then what happens is we get to Dr. Y, and Dr. Y says, no, we're not doing a C-section. Her first thing she said to me was, after seeing me and just observing me and everything, she said, there's no need for a C-section, guys. I understand why he recommended it, but there's no need for a C-section. I'm like, but what is happening? Like, am I in labor? What is happening? So she explains to me, and she tells me that I had it's called a premature rupture of the membrane. So I'll leave the description of that condition below. It's called PROM, so it's pre-PROM. I'll leave that details below so you can understand a little bit more as well, because I had to do my own research about it and find out what it's all about. And so her recommendation was that we are going to not do anything actually at this point. What we're going to do is they were going to inject me with steroids for baby's sake for over the next 2 days, and because I'm not in actual labor, it's just that my membrane has ruptured, they want to keep baby inside me for as long as possible. And she looked straight at me and said, this could take up to 4 weeks. I'm like, how does baby stay inside without fluid for 4 weeks? And she just tells me, no, you didn't lose all the fluid. There is some fluid in there, and at this point I really feel it's enough for baby to survive for that period of time. I'm like, okay, what now? So she says, we're not basically gonna admit you into hospital, and you're gonna be with us for the next 3 to 4 weeks. I'm like, oh my word, what do you mean? It's like, she just wanted to make sure that we keep baby inside my natural incubator for at least up to 36 or 37 weeks. So it's 31, 2, 3, 4, so 34, 35 weeks. And then we'll take any action needed when that happens. So the cause of the rupture of my membrane was due to an infection. Yeah, so I had an infection, and I also didn't know I had an infection, so it was very confusing for me. I was like, how, where, what? So they gave me antibiotics to treat that, and in concurrently to kind of prevent getting an infection inside my womb as well, because when the membrane does rupture, there is a chance of you also getting an infection in there. So they gave me some antibiotics and just make sure that I'm keeping myself and baby safe as much as possible. And I was also put on a drip to keep me hydrated and stuff, because I was going to continue leaking fluid throughout the period of my stay, because there's not like a hole that she was going to patch up or anything like that, or for the sake of making sure that she doesn't intervene or interfere any further with baby or putting baby in any kind of danger. So she didn't want to touch that area in any way, shape or form. She just wanted to make sure that she maintains me, like by giving me medication and supporting baby with the steroids as well. So okay, I'm like, at first I was like, this is definitely better. I was more relieved that I didn't have to do the C-section, but she said that would be a possibility later in time, but I didn't have to do it immediately, which was such a relief for me, because I didn't want to go that route first. So now I'm in hospital. It's just like that. I'm in hospital, I'm admitted. Okay, my husband leaves to go get my clothes and stuff, and I'm like, should I pack baby stuff, because now will baby be coming soon? I don't know what to do about that, but I'm like, at this point, let's get my toiletries and whatever. So he goes home, gets my stuff, brings it through, and I just get changed, and I'm in the system now. Okay, so this is now like day 1 of it. Cool. Day 1 happens. It's scary. It's scary because you are so worried about like, is baby okay? Because you start now Googling that. You start now going to the internet and trying to figure out what does pre-PROM mean? What does it mean for baby? How long can baby survive without amniotic fluid? and all those kind of things, and I'm freaking out completely, okay? And I'm like, okay, I just need to pray, trust God, and trust my doctor as well, and everyone else, to make sure baby and I are safe. So he's been put on the CTG monitor quite often, just to check his heart rate and oxygen, I think, and I'm constantly being monitored by the staff, and it was basically really like, the support I got from the nurses and everything was really, really great. It was really great. They were really amazing. Sorry guys, they were really, really amazing. Like, they really wanted to make sure that I was comfortable, and I was consistently felt that I had their support and everything, of which I would, like, I will forever appreciate their support. And then day 1, day 2, I'm leaking. Baby is doing well. Baby is thriving. His heart rate is looking good. His vital signs are looking good. There's no concern with regards to his health. There's no concern with regards to my health. So we are keeping baby in there for as long as possible. So now we're at day 5. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been here forever. And I'm telling you, this was the most, I had so much support from my family and friends, but it was like the most isolated, I've never felt so alone in a situation. And my husband was really supportive, and like my family was really supportive. Everyone was so supportive and took like the time to really like show that they cared about me, and I really love you guys. I really do. But it was still like, and you know, at night I'm like alone. I don't know, I'm constantly wondering if baby's okay, and he was, and God was so faithful. Like, God was taking care of my child, honestly guys. God really covered my baby. And I think the few days, and my husband kept on telling me, you know, I'm so glad we didn't go for the C-section option, because the longer the baby stays inside, the better. And I knew that was right. I also, like, in my heart knew that this was the right decision that we've made. But at the same time, you're also so scared if you're putting baby in any danger. So it was like a catch-22 situation. So fine, here we are a couple of days in, and I miss my kids. I miss my son, I miss my daughter, I miss my kids, and I miss being in my home, being in my family. I miss the baby that's inside me. I'm like, come out now. Okay, cool. So fine, it happens. And then now, this is now Tuesday. We're going to do my sauna. Doctor just wants to make sure that everything is fine, ducks and crosses, because I was like really frustrated and really sad, and she could tell, and she just wanted to just reassure me that everything is fine and we are keeping on track and we're gonna be fine and baby's gonna be fine. Okay, so that happens, and then what happens is we do the sauna, everything, she checks, and she doesn't see anything to be concerned about, and she doesn't monitor me. She does my bloods again, no infection in sight, thank God, and no reason for us to do anything still. And I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit more relieved, because I could see there's still some fluid in there. There's still, baby's still fine, baby's still breathing. His heart rate just went like an hour ago and it was fine. Cool. I go back to my bed and I'm like, I'm in pain now. Okay, I'm in pain. Like, I'm like, this feels like contractions. Cool. So I've got my contraction timer on now. The contractions are coming. They're 6 minutes apart. They're lasting a minute. I'm like, okay, cool. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is happening now. I am now in labor. Okay. And how far am I? I'm like now 32 weeks. So I've been there now. I got admitted at 30 weeks 6 days, so I was just like 1 day away from being 31 weeks. And then I stayed in for that week, and then I was literally 32 weeks 1 day. Okay, so 32 weeks, I'm having crazy pain, crazy. I'm like, I know this is labor, I know this. I tell the staff, I'm like, listen, it's happening, I'm telling you right now, this is really happening. Okay, they get me strapped up, CTG scan, contractor checker scans, everything. I'm wrapped up and ready to go to see what's happening. And when they put in the CTG, they can see baby's heart rate keeps on dripping, and it's showing signs of baby being in distress. And they're like, okay, let's check if you're dilating or anything like that. Mind you, I saw my doctor at 10 o'clock that morning. I was with my doctor at 10 o'clock that morning. This is not happening now, it's not 12 o'clock. Okay, so they're like telling me, okay, I'm 2 centimeters dilated. Okay, cool, 100%. And then 2 centimeters dilated, no problem. But baby's now in distress. There's a problem, so we can't wait for me to dilate any further. We have to do an emergency C-section now because baby's like stressed. Okay, so this is 12 o'clock. Okay, great. They're booking the theater, they're getting the theater ready. I'm getting ready, I'm getting prepared for theater. My drip is going in. They're putting that thing that to catch your pee, whatever that thing is, I forgot the name now. But they're putting all the stuff in me to prepare me for theater. Okay, my kids are home. And then as they finish getting me prepped, they're like, wait a minute, you're like now 4 centimeters dilated. This is like in a matter of like minutes. Okay, I would say like maybe an hour later. And they're like, okay, we need to get you into theater right now. So now I have to sign these indemnity forms and everything, and I'm like, I'm in pain, I'm dying, I'm writing and I'm signing, and I'm like, oh my god, if they need to transfer blood and all this kind of things, and I'm writing everything down, and I'm like, I'm in a freaking panic. Okay, oh, we get everything done, and then as I get into the theater room and I'm on the bed in theater, okay, as I get there, they do their last check to see how far am I. I'm now 8 centimeters dilated. Okay, so the doctor's like, well, hold the show, we're not doing a C-section, we're not going down the route, mommy, you just have to push. I'm like, what? Mind you, my mind is going crazy. Okay, I'm losing it because I'm in so much pain. I'm worried about babies in distress. I'm like, just cut me up and get this baby out. I've never done a C-section before, remember, I'm scared. But the pain, the stress, everything is telling me, just go ahead with this, let's just continue. She's like, no, this is too risky, you are 8 centimeters dilated, let us rather just get this baby out. So your cervix is like ready to do everything. I'm like, oh my god, okay, now I'm trying to push, I'm exhausted, I'm overheated, I'm not up for it. They literally tell me, okay, I think the problem is that you're in theater, let's get you to the delivery ward. So they move me and they run to the delivery ward, and they're like, mommy, this is it, come on, let's go. I've literally given up. I'm so demotivated, and these women were pumping me with like motivation, and like they were really like, they have my back, and they're like, you gotta do this, you've done this before, you can do it, come on. And somebody's stroking me in my back. I'm like, I can feel that, like so much support. And I'm like, okay, let's go, here's a contraction, it's coming. And I give it my all, and baby, bam, pops out. Like, I started contracting at 12 o'clock, I gave birth at 3 o'clock. Okay, literally in the space of 3 hours, baby was out. Baby's out, great. You will not believe what was happening. Like, his umbilical cord had knots in it. Like, there were 2 knots in his umbilical cord. I was like, yo, my baby was really in trouble. And this other nurse is like, yo, your child is trying to commit suicide. I was like, I know, it feels like that. I'm like, oh my word, what is going on? And I hear him screaming, I hear him crying. I'm so happy. He sounds fine. I'm so happy. And they tell me, okay, no, he is struggling to breathe a bit. He is preterm. I understand that completely. They put him on oxygen immediately to help him breathe, and now they're just, you know, getting rid of my afterbirth and everything. And my goodness, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, God intervened here. guys, the prayers from my family, the prayers from my friends, I really felt God's intervention in that moment, because it was so crazy. Everything was happening so fast, and if he stayed in a moment longer, I don't know what could have happened. And it was so crazy, but God was so faithful, and that's like the bottom line of the story. And I'm so grateful for my baby is fine. He is in ICU right now, because he still needs help with breathing, but he is doing so well. He was born at 2.266 kgs, and I could never be happier. He is perfect. He is perfect. And I'm so glad that I have my baby boy now. So I'm now going to get some milk for him. My boobs are like, it was a struggle to get milk and everything, but I've got another video I'm gonna do for that. And but yeah, this was like wow. But I just thought, let me just share this with you guys, because I was like, this was hectic, and I don't know if anyone has ever experienced something like this as well. I'd like to hear about it. If you ever went into pre-labor, like delivered prematurely. My son was also born prematurely, and he stayed in hospital for about 2 weeks, and also his lungs were not developed yet. And honestly, I really appreciate the Dr. Y and her suggestion, because I think that we did buy more time to develop better and gain more weight and be stronger. And thank you guys for all your support, because I know a lot of people that are here watch me, and you guys also pray for me, and you guys really are there for me as well, and I really appreciate that. So now we won't be doing any more pregnancy videos. We'll be doing more post-pregnancy stuff. So I look forward to sharing more with you guys, and look forward to seeing or being seen by you more. And you guys have an awesome one. If you haven't subscribed yet, okay, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and we are definitely hoping to grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there, so every subby does help. Okay, so I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being there for me, and thank you so much for hearing my story, and I'll see you guys next time.